Well, the Sault Theatre Workshop hits a landmark with this season. It's our 60th
60
season of
60
live
years.
theatre in Sault Ste. Marie. Pretty remarkable.
I can't believe that, 60 years.
We started in 1948.
Started in 1948, and in 1951, since I'm the oldest one here and was in it years ago, I shall start. And I think it was 1951 I went to see the Sault Theatre Workshop play entitled Laura. It was a murder mystery at the Clayton Auditorium at the Collegiate Institute. The prime characters were Sam Pitt and Babs Corbett, and I was hooked. I just fell in love with it. So I found some way of connecting and going to a meeting and started, and that was 1951. In 1952, I think the first play I did was a little one-act play called The Old Lady Shows Her Medals, and it was about four Cockney charwomen.
And they're nice medals, if I may say so.
on their coffee breaks, and we had to learn how to speak the Cockney accent. But then I was in it till about 1960, and I did a lot of backstage work, costuming, props, prompter. Remember when we used to have the prompters? Somebody sitting backstage hollering the lines,
The only
talking about special effects. And I was going to jump up to 2002 when we did Gone to Glory.
Go for it.
And in my role in Gone to Glory, I died in the middle of the show and came back as a spirit. And at one point or other in the middle of the show, we had the casket on stage. Now, when we did the performance in Sault Ste. Marie at the Theatre Workshop building, we were on a raised stage. So nobody in the audience could see if there was anybody in the casket. But we knew that when we took it to Timmins, which was for Quanta, which was a raked theater, and the seats came right down to there, and the stage was low, that we couldn't get away with that. So they had to come up with a body double for me to lay in the casket while I was backstage waiting to come back to life again.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, there's been
Yes.
You remember?
You know what the amazing thing about that show is when you walk through the wall.
Yeah, that's what I
Now,
heard.
it was the fourth wall of the theater, and we had set it up so we knew where the perimeter was. But it was Kathy Chinook did such a fine acting job, so that when Ruth stepped through what the barrier was that was supposedly the wall,
Yeah.
the amazed look on Kathy's face, and then she ran over to the spot and couldn't believe, and then she ran over and went through the door and come back to that spot inside looking to see what had happened to Ruth's character. And of course Ruth's character appeared in behind bouncing on the bed, and it was really quite...
And then she said, "How did you do that?"
Yeah.
And it was so real. I had the opportunity to work with a semi-professional stage group, Nipissing Stage in North Bay with Rod Carling doing repertory theater, and that was about a 4-month stint, and that was very interesting.
Yes, I got down to see you. It was very good. It was excellent. We enjoyed it a
And
lot.
I have recently been involved with making a short film, which with a movie producer from Toronto, which is going to be shown at the Toronto Film Festival in September. And if you want to see it, you have to go.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It kept us on our toes.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think I ever had a frightening moment on stage, but the most frightening play I was ever in totally was Gone to Glory, because it was very physically demanding.
Oh.
And I had to learn to do a lot of things. They really frightened my sons and other people, and that was
Bless you, you were
really
great in it though.
difficult. That was
You
difficult
were
to
wonderful
learn.
in it.
because I
When
didn't-
Winnie had to climb in
Trying to climb
Gone
up
to
on the
Glory,
table.
when Winnie had to climb up on that table and go through the process of
To
changing
take
a
it,
light bulb
yes.
in the so-called ceiling light,
Yeah.
and had to fall off the table. I mean,
Yeah.
how do you get an actress to do that?
Exactly.
And
How did we get you to do that?
And I don't know, weeks and weeks of practice doing it at home and
Patience.
falling off my kitchen
Wait
A lot
till you're
table.
of, lot of begging.
But I can remember the night, and it's amazing how you can train yourself to do your lines, do your moves, and you can still hear responses in the audience.
Yep.
Because I'm doing that climbing the table thing. And I could hear people saying, "What's she gonna do?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Don't get up there. She's gonna fall." And the night my two sons were in this, they were thinking, they said, "My God, Ma, we wanted to jump over the seats and run up and get you." And newspaper articles, everything. And then in later years, when the workshop started putting archives together, I just donated all that stuff to them.
That was great. And having those archives means so much. It was a real help.